Looking for the investment of a lifetime? Does the stock market have you down? Why not come to Great Gorge Village and purchase a condo here in the middle of Mountain Creek Ski Resort, where investors plan on...
The last time these two played in a major at the Australian Open was in '98 in the semifinals. It was the 9th time they had competed against one another, and it was the last time that Anke Huber was able to win a set. She won the second set after Hingis easily won the first, but then Martina Hingis took charge again in the third set as Martina Hingis was well on her way to Australian Open title number 2. And she would win it the next year in '99, and that was her last major.
It's a long time since Huber's won a set. That's why this first set is so critical for Anke Huber to get her confidence back. That last game was crucial. If she could have gone up 3-0 with 2 breaks, it'd be a different story right now.
Yeah, I didn't realize how many times they actually have played in majors. They played at Wimbledon last year. They played at the '99 U.S. Open. And they're the '98 Australian. So 3 of their last 4 meetings have been at majors.
Low 50.
Anke Huber's a very emotional player. We'll see what that last game does to her morale. Had all those points for 3-love.
Hingis found the opening.
Low 30.
Huber not doing enough with this approach shot. She was way off the court.
Come in on that backhand side of Hingis. You better make it a good quality approach.
Huber's lost 7 straight sets against Martina Hingis. Waiting for that right opportunity to attack. She's going to have to hang in there. Martina Hingis, one of the best defense players on the tour.
Huber down love 30 in this game, back to 30 all, trying to maintain the break lead.
By the way, those last 7 sets haven't been pretty either for Huber. She's mainly lost 6-2, 6-1s, only 1 6-3.
Break back point here. Martina Hingis recovers from the love 2 deficit. This is a quarterfinal match, and tomorrow we have a great one for you live at 1 o'clock. Serena Williams will take on Jennifer Capriati, the 2001 Australian Open champion. That is a match we are all looking forward to, and we hope you can join us.
played a great 3-set match last year. Remember, it was riveting. And both players are playing much better this year, this time around. Both extremely confident.
Joe, it'll actually be the first time we'll be able to see Capriati play since winning
15.
on ESPN, since winning the Australian Open. We saw her play a semifinal match in Scottsdale, losing to Davenport, and we had the finals of Scottsdale on ESPN. And then Capriati did not play last week in Indian Wells. And last thing on Capriati before we get back to this match, she's actually followed up the Australian Open win with some really solid tennis. She got the finals of Oklahoma City, losing to Sellis, and then losing to Davenport. So she's played good tennis.
And she's working hard. She looks even fitter than she did in Australia. And I saw a little bit of her matches here. And she's just so confident. She's hitting the ball hard, penetrating the court. And it's going to be thrilling tomorrow to see who can hit harder and execute.
Out.
Pascual Maria with the quick overroll, calling it a fault.
Touching.
Each player has won 22 points so far in the match, 44 points. We're only in the 5th game. Had some long games to start off this quarterfinal.
14, 13. Yeah, Hingis.
Reached up, the big ace out wide. People are still filing in to this stadium facility that's been here now about 7 years. Stay with us, everyone. 3-2, first set.
The Action Sports and Music Awards, fueled by Mountain Dew, coming April 10th on ESPN.
It seems like they were thinking about it from the beginning.
In the 1930s, they built their first safety test vehicle.
In 51, they patented front and rear crumple zones.
In 1960, they patented their safety steering system.
And pioneered anti-lock brakes in 78.
In 1997, they built a more crash-compatible SUV.
Now they have vehicles with 8 airbags.
Because one thing has always been most important.
Let's see the perfect notebook through your eyes. A big vivid screen, a fast Intel Pentium 3 processor, one-touch internet access. How about the power to turn heads? Oh, you'd like a deal. Okay. Get the compact Presario 1700T Internet Notebook PC for just $14.98. Then add a compact printer or scanner for just $1 more. You truly are a person with vision. Call us direct at 1-800-337-1988 now.
Watching quarterfinal action from the Ericsson Open. Martina Hingis, #1 player in the world, #1 seed here. Down love 2, almost down love 3, is now on top, 3-2 in the first set. Pam Shriver, Mary Jo Fernandez. Looking forward to all the women's quarterfinals tomorrow. I already talked about the Capriati-Serena Williams match. Davenport plays Demencheva. To round out the 4 quarterfinals, Venus Williams, the only player so far through to the semifinals. And if people are just tuning in and to see the afternoon show, Andy Roddick followed up the great win over Pete Sampras the other day with a nice win over Andrei Pavel from Romania. Straight sets.
I think he's the real deal.
Absolutely. Not easy to have a win after beating Sampras. Sometimes you can have a letdown. Right on the line. That shot followed the line the whole way up.
It's Huber's 8th winner of the match. She has to go for it. I think the longer the rally goes, the worse it is for Huber. She's got to take advantage of those short balls, and again, I think she needs to sneak in a little bit more. The better serves from Anke Huber, 98 miles an hour up the tee.
40 love. Tried the hack shot, didn't quite make it.
14, 15.
Almost.
Mary Jo renamed that wide shot that people try and slice around, almost like a high-lie shot, the hack. Well, we've seen Anke Huber the last 3 games miss some opportunities to increase the lead, and now she's just trying to get even at 3. She had 40 love in this game. It's now 40-30. This is a very big point for Anke Huber. Oh, wow. It was a big point for Huber, and she came through under pressure, leveling things at 3 games apiece in the first set.
Well, Hingis will regret not having come in earlier on in the point. She hit a great return, could have snuck in. Let Huber start the point all over again. And that was a big point and a big game for Anke Huber. Sure what Huber was trying to do with that shot. She sometimes lets go and hits a little bit of a slice. Caught that one very late, though. She mixes it up again by trying to throw in that high loopy shot. Hingis takes it out of the air. That back inside is lethal.
Chair umpire Pascual Maria confirming the call.
Difficult call for Pascual Maria to overrule on the far side.
A wild forehand from Hingis, giving Huber 2 break points to get back on top of this set. She takes her first chance. Anke Huber up 4-3. It's the first time she's gotten to 4 in a long time in a set against Hingis.
Some days, business is pretty slow. And other times, we can barely keep up. So our cash flow is pretty erratic. That's a problem. But when we turned to the people at American Express Small Business Services, they had a solution. Corporate Optima. It's a credit card for business with a low 2.9% introductory rate on purchases and no annual fee. It gives us the buying power we need every day. So if the fax won't fax, we can replace it without missing an order. And with a generous credit line, we finally got a real display case at the same low rate. When we need to pay our temp help, I can also access my credit line with the check option. And it all shows up here on my management reports. I love what I do. And with help from American Express, I'll keep on doing it.
To apply for the Corporate Optima card with a 2.9% introductory rate and no annual fee, call 1-800-SUCCESS.
I perform exploratory surgery. When there's been a car accident, every second counts. Clear! I'm Mitch Intinarelli, auto claims expert for Liberty Mutual Insurance. Our claims process begins before the accident at our collision training school. Severity of the damage. It teaches our experts to diagnose what's wrong, to help get you back on the road fast. Clamp.
Liberty Mutual. It's more than insurance. It's insurance in action.
If I can save just one car.
Anke Huber up a break again. She leads Hingis 4-3. Women's NCAA tournament. It's down to the final four, and that's what they're going for here at the Ericsson Open. But at 7 p.m., it's Purdue facing Southwest Missouri State. The powerful Jackie Stiles. If you haven't seen her play, you have to catch her. Unbelievable. Scored 32 points against Washington. And then 9 p.m., the defending champion Connecticut Huskies. They face their Big East rival Notre Dame. Both games this Friday starting at 7 p.m. Eastern on the ESPN. You probably haven't seen Jackie Stiles play yet.
I haven't.
She's fabulous. Watch her this weekend.
I will. I'm going to tune in.
She would have been a great tennis player, too. She actually reminds me a little of Hingis. Very accurate, precise, great competitor.
Huber's making Hingis work. There's been a couple shifts in momentum in this first set. Huber led 2-love, 40-love, triple break point. Didn't convert. Hingis got up 3-2. Now Huber up a break. And like you said, this is the best she's done in the set in a long time.
Since she won that middle set in the 1998 Australian Open semifinals. Since then, it's been all Hingis. She knows she let Hingis back in that rally.
Hingis has wheels, and Huber right here just wants to hit a drop shot. Really had no feel whatsoever. And that was a makeable passing shot up the line.
Anke Huber up 5-3. First set. This has really been an incredible seesaw. We've seen 3 distinct momentum shifts. You mentioned them, the first two, and we were wondering whether or not Huber would really make it 3, and she has.
Hingis going to decide there to change her rackets. New string job. Hingis has won 29 of 31 first sets this year. Hingis stepping up and nailing her backhand.
15.
A little extra power on that one. Been missing on that forehand side, though. 13 unforced errors for Martina Hingis. I remember in Australia, she went matches where she didn't have 13 total.
Martina Hingis trying to force Huber to serve for the first set. Huber not always confident with her serve, especially in pressure situations.
She'd rather return, definitely wants to break right here. Gets a little help from Hingis. Double fault number 2.
Yeah, you don't see Hingis serve many times 2, 3 double faults in a set. Sometimes you'll see her just serve 1 in a whole match, sometimes 0.
Got the shot she wanted. She opened up the court nicely. The backhand cross court. And got a little too anxious. Game point Hingis. That backhand down the line right, sets up the easy forehand. That Western grip where she hits that forehand so far over.
She sort of sideswipes it. She kind of comes across the ball as well as a heavy topspin over it. Winning the battle of the backhands there.
Advantage, Hingis.
That drop shot was coming off the racket of Martina Hingis. Normally Hingis also disguises that shot very well. We've got to be careful now when we watch Hingis. If she goes to too many drop shots, that's a sign of frustration for her. She wants to get the point over with quickly.
Now, is this a time for Huber to gamble on a second serve?
Definitely.
That's what I think. Hit just a good enough second serve that Huber could not get on top. Game point again for the #1 player in the world. Deep breath from her.
That time Huber attacked the first serve of Martina Hingis.
Yes.
That's something we see Lindsay Davenport do a lot. Hingis decides just to kick that serve in. That last serve was 80 miles an hour. Treat it like a second serve. second serve. It probably would have been a better move to hit a forehand off that return serve. Just hit a little slice on it.
Another game point. Hingis hit an ace out wide there on a previous game point. Not so lucky that time.
You can tell which side Huber prefers. That ball could have been hit on the forehand side. Huber runs around it and nails the backhand up the line for the winner.
Will Hingis feel a little pressure with his second serve? Ooh. More frustration from Hingis.
Surprise, Hingis is going to the backhand so many times on that second serve.
Advantage Huber.
Last time she won a first set was in Zurich, near where Hingis was raised. Now set point.
Yes.
Smarter choice that time from Hingis, directing it to the forehand side.
Was I getting nervous to miss it by that much after she just missed the return on the last point, on the set point?
I don't think she's nervous. That's the side that breaks down if the shot's going to break down. And in a crucial time, yeah, you might get a little nervous.
Hingis gets out of trouble. She's still down a break. And on the other side of this commercial, Huber will serve for the first set.
When you've helped generations of investors chart their long-term success, you gain a certain perspective. That perspective is reflected in Franklin Templeton's range of growth funds. There's one to fit your needs, however they may be growing. Franklin Templeton Investments. Gain perspective.
Introducing Coleman Back Home. A complete collection of outdoor furniture, heaters, grills, lights, and accessories, all backed by 100 years of legendary Coleman quality. Looks like nature approves.
His father is a laptop. His mother, a mobile phone. His grandfather is a personal organizer. And his great-grandfather on his mother's side, an electronic notepad. He's the all-in-one Ericsson R380, which just goes to show, dull parents can have pretty smart kids. The new Ericsson R380, we call it a smartphone.
On April 1, Major League Baseball begins. For Alex Rodriguez, Game 1. Live from San Juan, Puerto Rico. On April 1, the NCAA Women's Champion will be crowned number 1. Live from St. Louis. April 1 on ESPN. One season begins, one season comes to a triumphant close.
We're back. Quarterfinal action of the Ericsson Open.
Thank you. Love of cheesy.
Well, that side's definitely breaking down right now. My old coaches used to always tell me, Pam, make them beat you with their worst shot, and right now that's the forehand of Huber. Couldn't get up there in time.
15.
Huber doing a great job of pulling Martina Hingis off the court.
15 all. This is where it'd be so helpful if Huber could get a free point or two on her serve on such a big game. Instead, she gets nervous and hits doubles. Seen this? It's been really one of the weakest, I think the weakest part of Huber's game through the years. The forehand, second serve. After the double fault, the forehand misfires, although it was pretty close on the sideline.
Well, Hingis is playing a lot more patient now. She's making Huber hit that extra shot, forcing her to go for the lines.
Hingis breaks back and stares down to the court to see Anke Huber fire a ball down in anger. That'll help Hingis, knowing that she has her opponent frustrated. Huber had a set point at 5-3 on the Hingis serve and just served for the set, lost it to 15. Advantage back to Hingis.
Huber has to settle down right now.
Well, and she's doing a good thing here. She's actually walking back. She nearly did a little circle around the side linesman. Now she's just back into position.
She's angry with herself. Huber knows she had an opportunity to win this set.
Now 3 points for 6-5.
Fourteen, 15.
Martina Hingis gotten out of trouble in this set a couple of times and now one game away from taking the first set.
Award-winning Sussex Honda in Newton is having an extreme red tag sales event. Over 300 Hondas new and certified pre-owned are priced for immediate sale. Red hot red tag prices. Plus get amazing 3.9% APR financing on select new Hondas in stock. It's a red hot red tag Honda sale on brand new and Honda certified pre-owned with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. For New Jersey's best Honda red tag sale prices, visit Sussex Honda, Route 206, Newton.
Crow's Restaurant and Brew Pub, Sussex County's only brew pub. It takes 100 meals to win a customer and only one mistake to lose them. With that in mind, we work hard each and every day to exceed the expectations of our valued guests. We feature a full lunch and dinner menu, and live entertainment on the weekends. For excellent service in a warm, friendly, relaxed atmosphere, join us at Crow's Restaurant and Brew Pub.
This Sunday on ESPN Classic, find out why a single voice can inspire greatness. The time has come.
I don't care what the scoreboard says, we're going to be winners.
To prove everyone wrong. Academy Award winner Gene Hackman and Dennis Hopper star in a real classic, Hoosiers. This Sunday night at 9 Eastern, 10 Pacific, only on ESPN Classic. To get real, call 1-800-CLASSIC today.
Anke Huber possesses a very extreme Western grip on the forehand. Now we're going to roll the tape on the forehand side. You can have a look here. Let's freeze it right about here. You can see this grip and how Western that is around. Okay, now roll it again and see the racket. Can we freeze it one more time? Look at this racket. Look how closed it is. It's straight down. Let's see if I can draw a better line there. There we go. Straight down towards the court. Now roll it again. Look at that face and that racket coming up and through and side swipe. She finishes sort of coming across her face like a windshield wiper. And she doesn't have a lot of room for error sometimes.
Exactly.
She mishits a ton of balls off that forehand side, and it misfired in the last game. Drawing is about as good as Huber's forehand the last couple of games. Misfiring on everything there.
Well, Hingis is not misfiring anymore. Wins the first point of this game. But Huber's timing has to be perfect when she makes contact with that forehand. She needs a lot of time to set up. From Martina Hingis. This is why they call her the genius. Look at this backhand drop shot on the dead run.
Martina Hingis now 2 points away from winning this first set. She was down a set point just a couple of games ago. Huber led 5-3 in this set. And Huber also had a whole bunch of points for 3-love. We saw Huber jump out to that streak in the very beginning of this set, and then Hingis came back with 3 straight games, and then Huber with 3 straight, and now Hingis trying to get to 4 straight. There's the frustration from the German. She finds herself down now 2 set points. Took Hingis 51 minutes to erase a couple of different deficits. Anke Huber had this set if she wanted it. She couldn't serve for it at 5-4. She had a set point at 5-3 on the Hingis serve. But the little magician found a way to get out of it. She's up 7-5.
I'm not quite sure how to tell you this.
What is it?
You've only got 40 years left to live. Maybe 45, 50 times.
ever notice how many Tums you have around because your heartburn keeps coming back? There's a neater idea. New Pepsid Complete. It works as fast as Tums, but lasts 7 times longer, all in a chewable tablet. New Pepsid Complete. Just one, and heartburn's gone.
7-5, first set to the #1 player in the world. The CBB Award Show tomorrow on ESPN, the first ever college basketball award show. Join Dick Vitale, Digger Phelps, Jay Bilas, and Nancy Lieberman Klein for the ESPN Magazine's College Basketball Award Show. A total of 15 awards will be presented. Tune in tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN.
And Pam, is Lonnie Baxter going to win an award, you think?
You are getting so good at the University of Maryland.
I'm setting
you up. You're teeing it up for me. Go Terrapins. You didn't have much to cheer about in Miami this year for the Hurricanes basketball team, huh?
No, we didn't.
Wait for football season.
Well, those unforced errors started to creep in. Cougars game from 5-3 up in that first set. Most of them coming from that forehand side. This is their 13th meeting. Huber only won back in 1995, the second time they played. In the last 3 matches, Huber struggled to win games.
13.
I think Huber's best chance here is to keep the points short. She really has to take the initiative immediately, try to open up the court, and do some damage.
Miss hit a couple of balls off the backhand side. That one, she was way out in front. Is that because of the spin of Huber or what?
Maybe. It looks like she's picking up her head a little too soon.
That's what Serena Williams was doing the other day. Father Richard went out and helped correct that before her match yesterday.
Sometimes you look to see where your ball's going to land before you even hit it. Good off forehand from Martina Hingis. Huber doesn't like the call.
14-30.
Right on the line. Another shank. I think that time it was the power of Huber. She hit that return early. Tina Hingis and get her racket back in time.
Well, this would be a big game for Anke Huber after the disappointment of not being able to put Hingis away in the first set. If she can break starting off this second set, we could still see a very competitive second and maybe a third set. The concern when you lose a set like that first set in your Anke Huber is that you just are down and Hingis is up, and the next thing you know, it's a quick second set.
Should have hit that ball in the air, Pam. Could have swung volleyed it, if that's a word.
It is now.
But you're right, Huber needs to end the streak of games here from Hingis.
Hingis still on a roll. She's up 1-love in the second set. Looking a little more confident now. Martina, how in the world are you feeling?
In a way, I feel very good. You know, I'm confident when I walk on court and have this kind of belief. You know, I haven't been beaten too many times this year, and just by the top players. But otherwise, I think I still need some work on a few shots and, you know, raise it up by the time I play the top players again.
Hingis has won 3 events already. She won Sydney and 2 in the Middle East. The only people she's lost to is Capriati, Davenport, and last week Kim Clijsters.
She is playing a lot of tennis again this year. She stays healthy. It's one of the reasons why she stays at #1 despite not winning a major. She won 20 more matches than anyone else on tour last year.
Good play at the net by Huber. And people wonder, Pam, why Martina Hingis is #1. She didn't win a Grand Slam last year, but she had 9 tournament victories. She lost in 4 finals, 5 semis, and only lost in 2 quarters. Only twice did she lose before the semifinals of a tournament. That's pretty impressive.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
15.
9 of those wins, I should say 5 of the 9 of the wins were Tier 1 events, plus the Chase Championships. And that was an emotional win for Martina Hingis. Really felt like she ended the year well on a high note.
Beat Sellis in a tough match.
But I really think she's trying to improve her game. She's trying to get fitter. She took time off after last year's U.S. Open. She didn't go to the Olympics. And this year already, she beat Davenport and Serena in Sydney, and then the Williams sisters back-to-back in Australia, so it's paying off.
Yeah, the loss to Clijsters really stands out a little bit, although Clijsters, as we know, is such a talented up-and-coming player, but so seldom does Hingis lose to anybody outside the top 3-4, with maybe wherever Serena is can certainly upset Hingis on her good day. Serena starting to climb back into that top 5 area with a win at Indian Wells. More frustration from Anke Huber as she sees the string of games for Martina Hingis get to 6. The last 4 games of the first set and the first 2 here in the second.
The match almost 1 hour old.
You know Huber is still thinking about the opportunities in that first set. Remember that little magician thing at the end of the first set? That was another magical shot that she was able to get out of that point.
Last year, she only lost twice before the semis. It was at Wimbledon and San Diego in the quarters. In '99, it was in Paris and Indian Wells. Pretty consistent. Again, soft hands. And this is what we'd like to see Martina do sooner in a match. Come into net, you show us that variety, that great feel.
30 love. One of those quarterfinal losses at Wimbledon was to Venus Williams. I'm trying to think who Hingis lost to in the quarterfinal in San Diego. It wasn't Mary.
Amy Frazier.
Amy Frazier. That was sort of like the Clijsters loss, a little bit of an unusual one for Hingis. You know everything.
I follow my tennis.
Martina Hingis out to a 7-5 3-love lead. Night 3 of our coverage on the Ericsson Open.
Shaking it, we're staying alive, staying alive. I Best Picture.
No lip-syncing boy bands.
No boy bands?
ESPN Action Sports and Music Awards, fueled by Mountain Dew, hosted by Rollerball's Rebecca Romaine Stamos, LL Cool J, and Chris Klein. Featuring live performances by Black Sabbath, Ben Harper and the Innocent Criminals, Incubus, De La Soul featuring Busta Rhymes and Crazy Town. Plus appearances by Tony Hawk, Evel Knievel, Tom Green, and the Playboy Extreme Team. The ESPN Action Sports and Music Awards, fueled by Mountain Dew, coming April 10th on ESPN.
Release the controls.
Do 180!
Get out!
We gotta get one of those.
I told you not to let him drive.
ESPN's exclusive coverage of the Tennis Masters Series is brought to you by Audi.
Anke Huber will try and stop the bleeding here with a hold of serve. She's lost now 7 straight games.
Love 15.
And that serve is just falling apart. That's Huber's 4th double fault. And it started when she was serving for the set at 5-4. She threw in a double and a couple shaky first serves.
Oh, perfect from Hingis. Talking more about Hingis and how seldom she loses in the quarterfinal rounds or earlier in 99 as we see a replay of the last point. Chanda Rubin defeated Hingis at the Indian Wells tournament. We had that match on ESPN. And then Mauresmo also in the quarterfinals of the indoor tournament in Paris just after the Australian Open put out Hingis in the quarters. So that's 4 times in the last couple of years. Other than that, it's semis or finalist or win, as well as the Dockage first-round loss at Wimbledon. That's the only other strange result. Ooh, I know that word. You could get a warning for that word if the umpire was listening. Umpires are trained to know all the bad words in about 6-7 different languages. I made it easy for him, though.
Just gave it to them in the English language.
The one they understood the best.
Hingis. New ball, please.
For love, Hingis. Set going by very quickly. Huber had that game point, that break point in the first game, and you said it, Pam. It was important for her to convert. Those unforced errors up to 31 for Anke Huber.
Witness. 15.
Well, and I think part of it has to become mental after you lose to someone so many times. She knows she played a great setup to 5-3, wasn't able to win. And now between Hingis picking up her game and Huber making those mistakes, she's just gotten very down on herself.
Yeah, Huber needs an attitude transplant right about now. 3 points for 5 love. And as we often see Martina Hingis do when she has a big lead, she likes to throw in some serve volley points. Thinks that's where she was headed on that last first serve as a ball kid loses control of the ball in the back of the court.
And she was going to serve volley.
Wow. Everything is falling apart for Anke Huber. Martina Hingis on a roll at the Ericsson Open. One game away from the semis.
It seems like they were thinking about it from the beginning.
In the 1930s, they built their first safety test vehicle.
In 51, they patented front and rear crumple zones.
In 1960, they patented their safety steering system
and pioneered anti-lock brakes in 78.
In 1997, they built a more crash-compatible SUV.
Now they have vehicles with 8 airbags.
Because one thing has always been most important.
When you're tuned into global and local markets like we are, you gain a certain perspective. That perspective is reflected in Franklin Templeton's diverse range of over 100 funds. There's one to match your style, no matter what that is today. Franklin Templeton Investments. Gain perspective.
Anke Huber slowly strolls out to her baseline. Martina Hingis taking her time. Usually you see the one who's with the big lead out there soonest, but Hingis following Huber out.
I think Huber's so flustered right now. She's lost so many games in a row, she just wants to get out of here.
Disappointed. They had such a great first set, a lot of drama, and then this thing's just, you know, wipe out.
Yeah, the second set is definitely first was 10. These shots have Tony, you have to stop in such a hurry afterwards. Who's going to walk back a little gingerly? Just one a little too long and it jams right into your toe. Speaking from experience, thank you. You have to give credit to Martina Hingis, though. She never got too stressed out. She started to play more consistent, get the ball deeper in the court, started directing more balls to the Huber forehand.
Martina Hingis gets to double match point. Anke Huber smacks a ball against the backstop. Frustration, she's only won 6 points in this second set. And she came within 1 point of winning 6 games in the first set. She had set point at 5-3 on the Hingis serve.
30-40. Game, set a match. Hingis by 2 sets to love. 7-5, 6 love.
The tale of 2 sets.
Night and day. First set, very competitive. Anke Huber, 1 point from winning that set. Really hitting a lot of winners. But then just fizzled away. Martina Hingis shows why she's #1 in the world. Kept her cool, calm, and collected.
Martina Hingis hardly ever loses in the quarterfinals, and she didn't tonight.
The new millennium brings a lot of excitement to Bell BMW, but the hardest part of driving home in a new Bell BMW is deciding on which one to drive. Bell BMW invites you to experience our complimentary valet service for sales and service, plus the BMW accessory boutique in the showroom is guaranteed to get your attention. Our newly expanded service department is designed to make your visit comfortable. For easy directions, visit Bell BMW at bellbmw.com. Bell BMW, Route 206 in Newton, New Jersey.
Did you know that Subaru is quite possibly the safest passenger car in the world? Salerno Duane Auto Plaza does, and that's why we want you to take advantage of Subaru quality and safety, because we know your family is your most precious cargo. And at Salerno Duane Auto Plaza, your Subaru will always be $200 less than anywhere else, guaranteed, with internet pricing for all. So now's the time to test drive a new Subaru and discover the beauty of all-wheel drive at Salerno Duane Auto Plaza on Route 206 in Newton, right in front of Walmart.
As he looked past the 3 moons of Dominion and towards his home planet, it hit him like a teleportation booster. The rebellion would start on the ice because hockey was where the robots were vulnerable. And as the game's young superstar, the fate of his people rested solely on his shoulders in tomorrow's game.
Blues Red Wings at 7:30. Avalanche Oilers at 10. Tomorrow on ESPN2.
Martina Hingis, #1 player in the world, #1 seed here with a straight set win, 7-5, 6 love over Anke Huber, and she joins us courtside. And Martina, big turnaround in that first set. You were down 5-3, a set point. What do you remember from those 2 games that really turned things around?
Well, actually, I was up 3-2, so I was down 2-0, up 3-2, and that took a little bit of energy. I still didn't exactly know what to do against her. I played her in those so many times, but not lately, and she's a tough opponent, especially the night match and the light and everything. But I had to find my game definitely, and once I served a little bit better in the second, it was definitely a different game after that.
Martina, what are your goals this year? How much emphasis are you putting on trying to win the French Open?
Well, don't ask me about that one yet. I still want to finish this one first, and no, I mean, definitely the French Open are still the one I'm missing, and I'd love to win that. And I mean, in general, the Grand Slams are always a lot of fun to play.
After the loss to Clijsters and Indian Wells, I know it gave you a couple of extra days off. Take us through sort of that extra few days and how you prepared for this tournament.
Well, I was in Tampa in Saddlebrook practicing. That's where I partly live, and kept on doing a little bit more exercises, like especially fitness-wise. I didn't do that much after actually the Australian Open Tokyo. I just kept on playing tennis and didn't really have that much time to recover my body, and that was important. And now I feel better. The tennis-wise, I think I can be confident going into the semis, and we'll see what happens.
Martina, you rarely lose before the semifinals of a tournament. How do you stay mentally fresh and up for all these events?
Well, it was a disappointing loss against Clijsters. I mean, I watched when she played Serena, and also here at this tournament, so I don't want that to happen again. So I'm a fighter. I try to always do the best, and I know I didn't there, and that was disappointing, so I have new motivation to do better now.
Well, one of the few times in the last 12 months you've lost before the semifinals was to Venus Williams in the quarterfinals of Wimbledon, and you also played her in the semifinals U.S. Open. It's obviously a big rivalry in women's tennis. You play each other now. What about that match?
Well, we've played each other quite a lot, especially the Grand Slams, where you always get at least to the quarters, you know, against the seeded players. And she had a great streak there since Wimbledon. She didn't lose a match till, I don't know, like in the winter. And she was on the roll there. But, you know, I beat her in the Australian Open, and I'm looking forward to playing her again. I mean, she's a better player now again, and we'll see. She's got a big serve. I mean, her percentage was awesome in today's match, and I just try to get my returns in.
Well, Martina, congratulations on your win tonight, and we look forward to your 18th meeting against Venus Williams in a couple of days.
It's been a lot of tennis against her, that's for sure.
Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, more from the Ericsson Open after Martina Hingis with a comfortable win at the end, although an awkward first set, a win over Anke Huber in the quarters.
You've worked hard, and as you plan for the future of the people who depend on you, you search for the right financial partner. In Pacific Life, you found it. Nearly half the Fortune 500 rely on the Pacific Life family of companies. With over 130 years of experience and more than $300 billion of managed assets. For your family or for business, discover the power of Pacific Life.
Hey, need directions? Well, turn down here, make a hard right. Keep going about, 4 blocks. Get onto the superhighway, and you're there. The new Ericsson R380 with WAP. We call it a smartphone.
Serena Williams, the U.S. Open champion of 18 months ago, takes on Jennifer Capriati, the Australian Open winner, just 2 months ago. They play in the quarterfinals of the Ericsson Open, and you can see that match 1 o'clock Eastern live on ESPN. Jennifer Capriati having her best year ever as a pro, and we're looking forward to that one.
We sure are. Along with Lindsay Davenport, these two players, Serena Williams and Jennifer Capriati, are the hardest hitters on the women's tour, and we're going to see a lot of fireworks in that match.
Martina Hingis 7-5, 6-love over Anke Huber. As we look at the Audi match summary and some of the key numbers from the match.
Well, Hingis, 4 errors in the last 9 games. She really had a streak going there, and Huber just after 5-3 up in the first set just started to hit a lot of mistakes. The turning point was when she had that set point at 5-3, Pam, and wasn't able to convert Anke Huber.
Well, a familiar sight in women's tennis. Martina Hingis through to the semifinals. Venus Williams is there too.
Every sport has its own night from 9 to 11 on ESPN Classic.
How can you provide for the future of the people who depend on you? With the power of Pacific Life. For over 130 years, Pacific Life has improved the lives of millions with investments, annuities, and insurance. Because careful planning today can help them reach their dreams tomorrow. Discover the power of Pacific Life.
Hey, how was your business trip to Chicago?
Good. How was your week off?
Great. My friends and I went to the beach.
Really?
Yeah, we rented from Hertz.com. Found their best rates, special offers, and terrific discounts because I'm a AAA member.
Maybe we should try it this weekend.
We.
Martina Hingis, the #1 seed here, with a 7-5, 6-love win over Anke Huber, finishing things off pretty quickly. And we have some time on our hands, so we're going to take you back a few hours to another quarterfinal match that was played earlier today between Venus Williams and Jelena Dokic. Venus won the first set, 6-2. She trails Love won the second. Dokic just held serve.
we're seeing a different player in Venus today.